So I went to a regional this past weekend. My goal and my aim was to play Raid Raptors. I was supposed to play Raid Raptors. I bought all of the cards. Some of them arrived on time. Some didn't arrive on time, as you can see. Now, one card that didn't arrive on time, unfortunately, was Skip Force, which is the most important part of your deck's combo, because you search it off of Brave Strix. It is a Shining Victories rare, reprinted in a Megaton from like 6 years ago. No one has this card. So I couldn't find Skip Force, and playing Raid Raptor without Skip Force was maybe kind of like playing BA without Dante. Just buy it in the venue. Where do you think I live? Like, these privileged Americans think that you could just go to a regional that's like 700 players and there's like vendors that just sell everything. No. I live in Scotland. You have to like ask like some random crackhead on the street if you can like actually get into the shop because they're threatening you before you get. That's like your welcome. That's your vendors. Okay? No, I don't have just some guy giving me free things. Anyway, so I decided, you know, we go and play a little bit of Old Faithful. Regionals today, couldn't find Skip Force, therefore, if my girl and Moi are both drowning and I can only save one, you can catch me where? Exactly. Alright, round one, chat, round one. This is my matchup, round one. I play against Goblin mode. Frickin' Goblins. Alright? Now, it was a little bit more than just Goblin mode. It was Punk, Goblin, what's the other Psychic 3-axis deck that synergizes really well? It was just everything, right? Gold Pride. That was it. So, just everything. Right? Just Psychic deck, right? So, in game one, he won the dice roll and he went first. He did full combo. I don't really know what he did, but he just did, like, full combo. I don't know what that full combo was, but it was only, like, 3 disruptions. And I just had 5 worms in my hand. So, you know, Special Ishuda, Vishuda, Bounce, Force something out, Boxia, Spin a thing, Typhon, and I just won the game. He did something weird. He went, like, activate the trap card, start your engine, summoned Leon from the deck, and then didn't do anything with it. I don't know if he didn't have the right setup, or he was praying to hit the fusion guy, the ballin' dude, but I think he misplayed or something. So I won that game, which was really confusing. I don't know how I won that. Literally just 5 worms, and I outed the board, and I summoned a Typhon, and he was gone. And then in game 2, I fucked up. I did a really bad misplay, but basically he ended on like the full combo and the Nitro Head, and Nitro Head summons a token to your field, which is fine when you have Tenyis. But I slammed down a Desires, and I drew Infinite Impermanence. So it kind of didn't really work in my mind, because in my brain I was like, okay, well, the Nitro Head token is on the field, right? So I can't use this Imperm, so it's a bit useless. So I start to, like, play with, like, some Tenyis. I, like, start to force out a couple of things. They have an equip on one of their monsters that makes their Armored Xyz guys. I don't know if anyone plays Goblins, but they also end on Armored Xyz. You know, the new Xyz rank up stuff? So it makes one of their guys, like, immune and untargetable. So the way you out that is that you have to spin the equip spell, then you can target the Xyz guy. So I managed to play through that, and then I got Start Your Engine popped. He pops with Start Your Engines, and now I have a full, like, empty field here. All I have to do at this stage for my last final push is activate Infinite Impermanence, negate the Big Gabonga, and then I normal summon Taya, and then I make Boxia and into Moyi, and that should win the game. But I messed up because I didn't imperm, and mostly because I know, like, haha reading, but it was like 3 archetypes with like 7 different things going on. I had to read every Armored Xyz card. I had to read every Psychic monster in the graveyard because all the Goblin Bikers do things in the grave. And, you know, I'm trying not to slow play, and I'm trying not to, you know, you can't just sit there and read for like 20 minutes, unfortunately. So I was trying not to slow play, and I fucked up because I just figured, well, I guess I don't need to imperm this Big Gabonga because he doesn't have a way to trigger it. But he did. He had the guy in the graveyard that detaches from your guy to special summon itself, and he sucked up and attached my Taya, and I lost that game. And then in game 3, I went first. I activated Anti-Spell, and I passed on Keeshing. He activated an E-Telly, I banished it, and I burned him with Long One. And then halfway through burning him, I started to realize, wait a minute. This is a Psychic deck. There's punks in here. It's really easy for this deck to make level 11 synchros. So I'm starting to get a bit worried about my burns here. He goes and summons out a Tenyi Berserker, and I think to myself, surely I don't Qixing banish this, right? That would be really bad. But in my mind, I'm just like, okay, I need to like just do as much damage as possible so I can win in time, right? So he summons out the Tenyi Berserker. If he punches my Moyi, he gains attack, and then he can attack over my Qixing. So I'm thinking to myself, well, I'm going to lose my Qixing. So I have to burn away the Tenyi Berserker. But in hindsight, it's like, well, it doesn't matter if the Tenyi Berserker attacks my Moyi, gains 17 attack, and then punches over my Qixing for like 15 damage. I'm like 6,000 life points ahead of him. He's activated multiple punk cards. He's been burned 3 times from Long Wan, twice from Qixing. Well, it would be once from Qixing and once from Long Wan. I'm ahead by like 3,000 or 4,000 life points. Even if he clears my field, he's gone. He uses his battle phase. There's nothing left. Time gets called, or it goes to my turn, and I just have to play the game, and I win. So that was really bad for me. I should have just let him summon the Berserker, not do anything. If he wants to use his battle phase, that's up to him. But I stupidly burned with the Berserker, and then he just goes normal summons the Yamen and does full combo. He didn't need any spell cards because I flipped anti-spell in the standby phase. He chained emergency teleport, and he had a way to keep playing. That was unfortunate. All right, so I start my regional record with a 0-1, and that was my fault, I guess. I should have been more familiar with the Goblin cards, and I would have won that. Round number 2, we played against Snake Kings. Yes, it's funny. I beat all of the Snake King players I dueled against. I didn't lose to Snake King at the regional. I beat all of them. So that was funny. Game 1, did I win? Yeah, game 1 against the second Snake Eye deck. I won the dice roll. And I just had 3 Synchro Monsters. It was like Baron, Qixing, and like maybe a Berserker. No, not a Berserker. Maybe a Dragite or something. It was like 3 Synchro Monsters. Game 2, he did like the full Fire King Snake Eye combo. So, set up the pops and all that stuff. And it was really annoying because my deck list was built specifically to beat like these decks, right? Because I had like high power like hand traps or defensive cards, and I didn't see any. And like, yeah, okay, well, if you only play Sword Soul, you can't beat these newer decks because they're just more powerful than you. So you need like a defensive card. So unfortunately, he just did full combo. I couldn't play the game. I needed like something like a Talents. I needed like a Nibiru. I need some kind of like non-worm card. I maybe would have had a chance, but yeah, he did full combo. I lost. Game 3, I went first. And it's so funny because everyone is playing Droll this format, and then that's amazing for Sword Soul, right? Because like Sword Soul, you don't care about Droll. You basically search like once with Qishao, and that's it. Best case scenario for your opponent, your hand is like double Emergence or something, right? You Emergence, you search, then you get Drolled. Like that's the best thing for them. So Droll's great because it doesn't really hurt you. You still end on like multiple synchros, and it turns on talents. I was maining 3 copies of triple talents, which is great because he Drolls me. He has like 3 spells in his hand. I talents away his Snake Eye Ash, and then I set anti-spell, which is great because every game this regional, don't accuse me of anything, but every single time, I don't know why, every single time I side decked for going first with my deck at the regional, I drew anti-spell. But it wasn't enough against Goblin modes, unfortunately. It is what it is. So anyway, yeah, I managed to beat Snake Kings because of the anti-spell, because I talented away his Ash, Snake Eye Ash, and then he just had like Bonfire, Wanted. Actually, no, not Wanted. It was like original Bonfire, and like some shit monster that wasn't enough to deal with a Baron. So that was funny. Round 3, I played the mirror match, dude. The mirror match. I'm not trying to, like, flex or anything, but I got top 16 at Nationals with Sword Soul out of, like, 1,000 players. You'd think, like, bruh, I'm good at Sword Soul, right? I know how to play Sword Soul. Well, I lost the dice roll, which didn't help. He sets up an okay board. It's like, Qishao and a guy and a set or something, and I have to, like, Sword Soul can just clap back and kill you if they have follow-up. So I wasn't about to like pass or anything. I had to play into the field. I had to try and break it. But if I specifically try and break his board, I lose to Nibiru, and I didn't have a choice. So I play into his board. I crack the field. I try to set up a Baron. He nibs me. And it is what it is, right? Anyway, game 2. My hand is really good. I think I go for the greedy, like, Qixing, Qishao play, which is, like, Pot of Greed. You draw 2 cards and search. And I figured, like, okay, I know he has Nibiru, but I'm going to play into it because my hand is, like, follow-up with, like, an emergence, a second one. And I have Ash and Nibiru. So even if he nibs me here, I feel like I'm fine to play aggressively. So I just go all in and I just draw, like, 3 cards and I just have everything. He loses. And then game 3, I didn't draw any disruption, which is really annoying because you need, like, something, right? No Ash, no Imper. I didn't draw any disruption. It was just a hand of worms, which is fine. You can win against Swordsman with a hand of worms, but he was too much. He ended on Qishao. He ended on Baron. He had Blackout searched. He had an Ash from my emergence. He Veilered one of my cards, and he had an impermanent. Like, it doesn't matter what you can do there, right? If your opponent opens full Sword Soul combo with, like, defensive cards as well, you need defensive cards as well in order to beat that. I needed, like, a Talents. I needed, like, a Nibiru. I needed, like, any kind of cards, really. And I just lost the mirror match, dude. I felt so bad I lost the mirror match. And it was really funny because I taught him the Blackout from deck play after the match. Because game 1, I think, at some point, I think I impermed his Moyi. And then he goes long one, pitch special. And then he just leaves long one on the board, makes Qishao with Moyi and the token from the long one. But he doesn't realize that if he goes Qishao, banish, Blackout, he can summon another token and make a 10. So I taught him that play after the match. It was very funny. He just didn't know that play, which is weird because you think, like, why would I lose the mirror at that point if I know that play, right? Because he was kind of new to the deck as well. But it is what it is, you know. He just had better cards and won the dice rolls. So I think I played it good. I was just unfortunate. So I lost the mirror. That's unfortunate. In round 4, freaking Cash Tira, dude! Just for context, Cash Tira won our regional. Like, first place. First, number 1 champion of the regional was Cash Tira. Not Snake Eye, Fire King. This is Scottish Yu-Gi-Oh, okay? Cash Tira won the whole thing. So anyway, I played against blind second Cash Tira. He goes game 1. Well, I won the dice roll, but it's a blind second deck. So he wanted me to win the dice roll. So it was very cursed. I won the dice roll. I set up, like, Baron, Qishao, and a back row. He goes, like, Raigeki. I go negate. He goes Raigeki, destroys my field. Lightning Storm, clears my back row. Summon Unicorn, Theosis, Fenrir, Birth, kills me. Like, okay. Guys playing Raigeki in Fire King format, I suppose. Sure. So he just murders me. Game 2, I let him start. Right? Because, listen, if you're main decking Raigeki and Lightning Storm, I assume you're just on some nonsense. So I just let him go first. And I win. I just OTK him. Because he just didn't have it. He had, like, a Fenrir, which I go standby Imperm on, and I think I just OTK through it. You know, easy clap. Now, game 3, it's like, what do you do in this situation? I didn't know what to do. Right? I don't know what to do in this. Like, your opponent is blind seconding. They have all of these board breakers. I'm like... And you beat them in game 2. It's like, do you side for going first or do you side for going second? I thought that I was trying to be too clever and I tried to, like, 5-head him because I assumed that if you blind second, you side for going first because people now know you're going first. Because I made him start in game 2. So I thought that if he thinks that I made him start in game 2, that means he wants that. That means he'll think that I think I want him to go first again, which means second. So he'll want to go first. So it's just a stupid, like, mind game thing. And maybe you're right. They are Scottish players. They're not gonna 5-head you. So I just assumed I would go second, and I got punished because normally I would side out triple Talents because he's not playing any hands. It's just board breakers, right? So Talents is dead. So my hand is like Baron, double Talents, and I'm sitting there, and he's like, "You may begin," and I'm sitting there like, "Fuck." This would have been an anti-spell, and I would have just won the game, dude. And I would have won the game, because guess what he does in game 3? Lightning Storm, Field Spell, Birth! And I'm just like, man, if this Talents was a fucking anti-spell. So yeah, it was, that was my mistake on my side decking. I guess I was trying to be too clever. I should have just been like, yep, he's playing go second, I will put in anti-spell. So yeah, Talents really fucked me there. Talents is a great card this format, but in this situation, I should have known that, right? Anyway, round 5, Snake Eye! Game 1, I opened Baron Qishao and set 3 cards. He had a nib in hand. which he used in the end of the main phase. So he forced out the Baron, so I didn't have a negate. So I set up the Baron first. I have Chi Shao, I have 3 set cards, I have double Imperm and something. So I win that game. I don't know, I guess it was just good enough. Game 2, he like, I don't know if he's like inexperienced with the Snake Eye combo, but after like, I'm not good with Snake Eye, but I know like some decent basics. Shoutouts to my Discord for teaching me before Masadu. I know some good lines in Snake Eye, and I was watching him play, and I'm just like, he's doing this line incorrectly. So rather than just letting him get to like the point where you go Princess, he's already resolved Flamberge Grave Effect. He brings back a bunch of guys. He's got like 4 materials on the field. I'm just like, okay, just in case there's some like stupid Appaloosa shenanigans. I don't know. It's Scottish Regional. People could be playing fucking anything here. So I'm just like, okay, cool. He's already reserved Flamberge. He's brought back the 2 materials. I just go activate Nibiru. I clear his whole field, and I'm just like, Snake Eye's kind of broken. He still has like 4 cards in hand. And then do you know what he does? He normal summons a Flame fucking Swordsman. What is it? Flame Swordsman fighting Spirit Man or something? It's like full combo. He goes normal summon Flame Swordsman, add Salamandra, activate the spell card. The spell card gets you another bullshit thing, and then he like fuses into Ultimate Flame Swordsman, and then he just Dridents me on my turn, and my hand can't play through it, and he just wins. I'm just like, man, what are these Snake Eye cards for? So that was very funny. But yeah, game 3, I go first, thankfully. He draws me again. You know, people drawing Sword Soul is a bit funny. He draws me, and it's the same situation as before. I activate talents, he's got a bunch of spells and an Ash. I talent away the Ash, and I set anti-spell, and I win. I did that twice. So, yeah, don't play Droll against Sword Soul. Round 6, it's Joe Biden. Dude, my hand was insane. I did like a small misplay. I would have ended on 4 Synchro Monsters. But I did a slight misplay because I thought I banished my Shatana from Desires, but I didn't. So I ended on 3 Synchros and a token. It was kind of weird. It was a little bit cursed. But my end field was like Chi Shao, Chao Feng, Baron, Monk, Token, and like a hand trap. It wasn't Ash though, because he did resolve Branded Fusion. It might have been like Imperm or something. Yeah. He super polys me. He super polys my Chao Feng and my Chi Shao. He clears my whole field, but he just ends on like a Mirror Jade Pass, which didn't do anything. Oh no. It couldn't have been Baron. It must have been Kishin because I'm worm locked at that point. Because I started with the Chao Feng line to play around Nibiru. So I made Chao Feng to protect from Nibiru, and my light monsters. So he makes Garura with Super Poly. Off of my Chi Shao and my my Chao Feng. So he cracks my board, but I just clap back and I win because he doesn't have follow-up, right? And then I think I 2-0'd him. This is my only 2-0. Game 2, he has like full combo, by the way. He has like a Branded Lost. He has a Mercurier in hand. He has a Mirror Jade on the field. He has a set Joe Biden in red. And then I draw for a turn and it's Imperm and I just have 5 worms and I just kill him. I don't know. Mirror Jade is so shit against Sword Soul, dude. I swear to God, like, just bouncing that idiot back to the extra deck with Baxia or Vishuddha is so good. I don't really recount, like, the line of play or anything, but he had, like, full combo, and I just killed him. So that was good. Final round of the round 7. Can we end on a positive record? I should have lost this round. But my opponent misplayed. But that's fine, because I misplayed in round 1. I should have won that game if I wasn't stupid. It is what it is. He's playing Kashtira. Did he go first? Yeah, I think I lost the dice roll. No, he won the dice roll. No, I won the dice roll. Yeah, so I go normal summon Moyi. He activates Impermanence. I go activate Emergence because I'm like, yes, base, let's go. Long One, Chi Shao, Blackout. No, he imperms my Moyi. He ashes my Emergence. And then his hand is Field Spell Fenrir. And I don't have enough to stop him pushing. So it's like 2 defensive cards and 2 cracked engine. He just wins. He doesn't OTK me, but my hand is really shit. He plays into Nibiru. I nib him, but then my follow-up turn is draw an Ashuna. I have 3 Ashuna in my hand, you know? And then I pass back to him. I, like, punch a guy. He goes and attacks me again. I draw for turn, I draw Nibiru. So my hand is like Nibiru double Ashuna, because I have to summon one in defense to just not die or something, but he just Fenrirs it, so it doesn't matter. So So I drew like double Nibiru, double Ash, double Ashuna, Moyi, and like that just doesn't do anything by itself, right? So I died. Game 2, I decided that against Kashtira, I'm just gonna let them start because this guy wasn't playing a blind second strategy and he wasn't playing a bunch of board breakers. He was playing hand traps, but I figured I'm just gonna let Kashtira start. So yeah, game 3. After I OTK in game 2, letting him start. 5 worms, baby. That's all we need. Game 3, he goes first and he shifters me. He goes, activate Prosperity, banishes 6 for cost, he chain shifter, and I'm just like, okay, that's rough. It's fine, though, because I start with imperming his Fenrir, I Lightning Storm his back row, which was a search Daruma Cannon from a thrust. I think I ashed his Theosis on his turn. That's why the thrust was live. So he goes like Fenrir, he gets a guy, I ash the Theosis, he thrusts for a set Daruma Cannon. He ends on like Unicorn Fenrir or something. I draw for turn, I imperm the Fenrir in the standby phase, I Lightning Storm the field spell, the Kashtira Ogre trap card, the Daruma Cannon that was set off the thrust. But I'm under Shifter, and Sword Soul can play under Shifter, but you don't get any follow-up, and you just have to pray. So my end board is Qishao, a Resolved Pot of Desires, meaning my Chengying is just fucking thick. Like, he is a big, cheek-clapping, thick boy. Which means all he has to do on his turn is Big Eye steal my Chengying and punch my Moyi that's, like, chilling on the field doing nothing, and he kills me, and I die. But he doesn't do it. Sorry, Qishao. He tries to be, like, really clever because he goes Dark Arm Dragon of Annihilation instead of Big Eye. I don't know why. He goes Dark Arm Dragon of Annihilation, detach to destroy Qishao. I let it go, and he's, like, really confused why I let him destroy my Qishao. But it's because he shifted me. I don't have any worms in the grave. My Qishao's dead. I can't negate it. So he's, like, really confused, and then I just have a Chengying. I activate, like, a random banish card next turn. Chengying, banish you, punch for, like, 7,000 damage. And afterwards, I asked him, I was like, why didn't you just Big Eye my Chengying? And he was like, I thought you were going to negate it with Qishao. And I was like, I didn't have any worms. Like, he shifted me. So, that was very funny. Qishao can banish from hand, but it was a second Pot of Desires in my hand. Which takes me to my deck list, because some of you are going to be upset about this. I did not play the Cowards ratio. I played 3 Pot of Desires. And I drew Desires 3 times at the regional. And do you know what? Guess what? I still would play 3 Desires. I still would play 3 Desires. Do you know why? Because in the worst case scenario, it's still Upstart Goblin, it still cycles your deck, and it still deck thins and gets you to your power cards, like Talents, like Longwan, like Emergence, like Imperm, okay? So Pot of Desires at 3, I would not regret it, even though it fucked me like 3 times at the regional. I still drew Desires into Desires. I would still play Pot of Desires at 3. Card is broken. It's insane. Yes. I would play 3. Pac played 2. Pac is stupid and wrong. He's bad at Sword Soul. Clip this and send it to him. Desires is a 3 of, dude. A 3 of. It's Pot of Greed, baby. It's Pot of Greed.
If my girl and Moyi.
Anyway, the deck list is
You're my hero taking Sword Soul to a regional in fire format.
Yo, thank you, Ashen Hunter. It was a backup plan. Don't get too excited, you know. So this is the deck list. There's nothing you can change about Sword Soul in terms of the Sword Soul lineup. You're always gonna play 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 1, 3, 3. Maybe some people play 2 Vishuddha. You're always going to play 2 Adhara, and maybe you play 1 Shatana. I think Shatana is important. It comes up a lot where you go Moyi, summon, you get a token, they pop your Moyi, now you just have a token on the field chilling, doing nothing. That's when you can go Ashuna, summon a 4, that gives you an 8. I personally think Shatana is mandatory. Some people don't. It's whatever. But other than that, there's nothing to cook in this deck list. These are the cards you cook down here. These, like, 12 cards here. Like, it's like format dependent. What do you want to play? I was maining Droll, and then I did 1 test game before the regional versus Jordan. I drolled him, like, every game, and he, like, ended on full combo and killed me. So I was like, you know what? This card's kind of dick. It's kind of ass. So, yeah, that wasn't very good. So I swapped it over, and I played this. I just played, like, the best possible cards. Imperm is just good because it doesn't trigger Talents or Thrust. Talents or Thrust is pretty popular. So I wanted Imperm instead of Veiler or DD Crow or something. And Droll, obviously. Ash Blossom is... Gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. The biggest determining factor for why I played Ash Blossom was because I own a playset of Quarter Century Ash Blossoms. I don't know if it's because it's good this format. I couldn't really tell you, but I didn't treat myself to anything nice after my subathon. I've been putting all of my money towards, like, you know, paying for, like, the house renovation, the child newborn upbringing. And these were kind of too beautiful to not play. So I needed the Ash Blossom. So I put them in the main deck, and I thought that was good. Same with the Pot of Desires. I know I just sat there shitting on Pack for like 10 minutes talking about how Pot of Desires is a 3-of no matter what. The thing is, Pot of Desires is an ultimate rare, and I have 3 of them, and thank God Konami put this card back to 3 from the last ban list, and that's kind of the main deciding factor for why it's a 3-of instead of a 2-of. Anyway, other than that, the other engine card is non-engine is like Call by the Grave. Call by the Grave is really good because obviously it stops hand traps, but most importantly, it's really good against Ashen Snake Eye because Princess is in the graveyard. So not only is it protection, it's also disruption. So Call by is just really good. Other than that, like I said, there's nothing to cook in Sword Soul. Like, what do you cook in this deck? There's nothing to cook. Like, the deck hasn't been changed. They need like new support cards. The extra deck is all completely solid as well. There's nothing you can change in this extra deck. Double Baxia, double Chisao, Baron, you know, Dragite, I guess maybe you could cut. You could maybe play a Ruddy Rose Dragon. Ruddy Rose might be good this format. In fact, in hindsight, I would probably play Ruddy Rose. So that you can banish your opponent's entire graveyard versus Snake Eye. So Ruddy Rose could be an option again. I didn't play Berserker. I made a deck list error that I had to change. The Berserker, I don't have a Tenyi Berserker. It should be the 3rd Monk. And then from there, I would probably swap Dragite for the other monster that I just mentioned, Ruddy Rose. Oh, but I did do a funny thing with Dragite. Dude. I had Dragite on the field, and then I activated the effect to excavate to bounce if I mill a rock, and my opponent looked at me and he was like, "You're playing Sword Soul." And I'm just like, "Yes." And then I excavate a fucking Nibiru. It was so funny. It was so funny. He was like so confused. But yeah, that's what that's the play. Side deck, I this probably needs some work. I don't know what I would change here. Anti-spell obviously was MVP. You would just I think most decks should probably side anti-spell for going first. The card is crazy. DD Crow, I didn't really see it against the Snake Eye decks, but in theory it was broken because you just banish Princess or the Flamberge, and it's probably a good game. Dimension Shifter, I sided Shifter and Sword Soul because if I played against Snake Eye, it should fuck them way harder than it hurts me. But I didn't draw it against them, so I couldn't really report back on that. Shifter's like the one card that really hurts that deck. Droll and Lockbird, I guess it's a kind of diverse format. I guess if you play against like Manadium or some other weird combo deck that searches a lot. Droll is probably just not that good, honestly. Like, I have drolled Snake Eye in testing a few times, and the card just doesn't do anything. Like, it just actually just a -1. They still end on everything. People, if you're siding Droll right now for Snake Eye, please stop. Like, once people actually get good at Snake Eye, they will not lose to Droll. You know, even if they best case scenario, Droll is like on Bonfire, because now the Snake Eye doesn't work, etc., etc. Like, that is it's still bad. It still doesn't do a lot. You see Voiceless Voice? Yeah, shoutouts to Omni, Bernardo. He got second place with Voiceless Voice, so that was really cool. Shoutouts to him. Yeah, anyway, other than that, that's my regional report. It was a fun day. I had a great time. Here's a picture of my wife and her boyfriend. Please do not cheat on me. That was my regional. I had a fun time. I drew anti-spell every single time I went first. It was kind of disgusting. I don't know why, but it was fun. It was a great time. So this is the best Sword Soul combo. Moyi plus anti-spell. Name a better duo. Shoutouts to the guy who went Moyi reveal Vessel of the Tenyi Spirit, by the way. That was crazy. Man, I know it's a worm card, kind of, but that's not how that works, my guy. Holy crap. Anyway, yeah, that was my regional report. Thanks for watching. Bye.